Hundreds of bags of onions brought to the Kwadaso market in Kumasi go bad due to delays in transporting the produce from Niger to Ghana. Kennedy Agyapong summoned before New Patriotic Party Disciplinary Committee of a viral showdown video. Also this morning, political parties not represented in Parliament to persist in their endeavours until the Electoral Commission guarantees that the limited voter registration process is accessible to all citizens. And in international news, Russian officials say Wagner chief Prigozhin confirmed dead after genetic analysis of bodies found in Wednesday's plane crash. Details of these stories and many more in a jiffy. Please do stay with us. And our first story in the New Patriotic Party is to summon one of its flag-bearer aspirants, Kennedy Agyapong, before the party's disciplinary committee. This follows accusations he made in a viral video during the Special Delegates Conference on Saturday. Christian Yali reports.
In this country, President Akufo Memo will show down. Vice President Memo will show down.
A visibly angry Kennedy Agyapong did not mince words when he threatened to give President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia a showdown.
So, Mama chasing me agent. I'm not going to them. What do you bet? What do you bet in your best?
It was obviously one that would not go unnoticed, especially after he vowed to expose the two leaders over an aggressive attack on his agent in the NPP Superdelegate Congress. But the NPP says his actions amount to a violation of a provision in the party's constitution and also a potential misconduct on his part. Kennedy Agyapong is therefore expected before the party's disciplinary committee to provide responses and details to the threats made in the viral video. Kennedy Agyapong has qualified for the next phase of the NPP's presidential race after coming in second.
Yes, my challenge President Akufo-Addo anytime.
The NPP has meanwhile also summoned 4 other individuals, including a member of the Alan Kyerematen team, Hobson Adoye, before the disciplinary committee.
Now, political parties are not represented in Parliament say they will persist in their endeavours until the Electoral Commission guarantees that the upcoming limited voter registration process is accessible to all citizens. Now, according to the group's spokesperson, Citizen Atodadzi, an emergency inter-party advisory committee IPAC meeting was requested and fixed on Tuesday, August 29, to address the existing disparities and concerns.
We haven't heard from the Electoral Commission officially yet. However, we've still had some engagement with them. We followed it up with a letter to the Electoral Commission requesting for an emergency IPAC meeting on Tuesday. We've had engagement after sending that letter on Friday, and it's looking positive. We are hoping that this time around we would actually hear from them so that we'll hold that emergency IPAC meeting on Tuesday to address the fallout of their own press conference that they organized last week, Thursday. Can I assure you, we have an action plan as a group. We believe that we need to continue to engage the Electoral Commission as our initial steps. This is a democratic process. And in governance, dialogue is very important. So we will continue to engage them. And we hope that as an institution that is interested in ensuring a credible elections and would want to engage stakeholders to ensure that process is seamless, they would also extend the same respect by engaging us too. If they fail to engage us on Tuesday, on our action plan, we will activate the next step, and we would ensure that in the end, the average Ghanaian benefits from this process. And so you realize that the NPP and the NDC are all on the same path. I saw one of the NDC MPs in our Afram Plains holding a press conference as well to address similar issues, where she opined that it will cost an average constituent about 300 Ghana cedis to travel to the EC district office. And these are the same issues that we are talking about. If at this time, it will cost an average Ghanaian 300 Ghana cedis just to go and register to get a voter ID card to vote. I mean, then it's an attempt of either voter suppression or trying to disenfranchise Ghanaians, which the EC says they are not interested in. So for us, we were engaging all the stakeholders, including civil society organizations, who were present at the Wednesday, 16th August IPAC meeting that we were initially informed about this process. We will engage to the last minute, and we don't want to use other forms of redress that will not be in the interest of either the Electoral Commission or all of us as Ghanaians. And that is why we want to ensure that this dialogue process continues.
Now, away from politics, the fight against illegal mining seems to be gathering some momentum after the Asantehene used one of his chiefs as a scapegoat. The chief of Abodom, Nana Saforo Koto, has lost his stool after charges of indulging in illegal mining were pressed against him at the Menchia Palace. Now, some residents of Abodom have welcomed the Asantehene's ruling. Benjamin Edu has filed the following report.
And illegal logging have depleted several arable lands in parts of the Ashanti region. Security measures to counter these acts of environmental degradation has yielded little results because in most cases, influential persons in society are neck deep. The Asantehene did not mince words when in May this year vowed to deal with any of his chiefs operating or supporting illegal mining in his traditional jurisdiction.
My chiefs know that I've been speaking about this, and I'm not happy with chiefs in Amansia area where Galamsey has taken over the land. And I say to them that if you sit there and you claim that you don't know what is happening, then you are not fit to be a chief over there.
A traditional authority walking the talk. Chief of Abodom was the first to be used as a scapegoat. Among his charges were illegal mining and logging.
Na ọmọdé bẹbọ na Abodom yìí yẹ tu wọn na mọ ẹkọ Abodom yẹ kọkọ ṣẹ na ebi wọ wa amfa na kwan so amale kwan so.
He was accused of several infractions, including Galamsey. We called him several times to file his defense, but he ignored. You have been distilled. The chief committed a taboo after leasing our only forest reserve to a timber contractor. The forest is now depleted. In 1 month, the Asantehene has distilled 5 of his chiefs.
To one of our headline stories now, and hundreds of bags of onions brought to the Kwadaso market in Kumasi have gone bad due to delays in transporting the produce from Niger to Ghana. The trucks were locked up at the Benin border for more than 3 weeks owing to the closure of ECOWAS countries' borders with Niger. Ibrahim Abubakar has more in the following report.
For over 20 years, Yahya Bala and his family have been surviving on the sale of onions. The father of 4 imports agricultural produce from Niger to Ghana and conducts his trading activities at the Kwadaso onion market in Kumasi. But a coup d'etat in Niger on July 26 will come as a big blow to his business. He has lost in excess of 1 million Ghana cedis. That all 3 trucks of onions he imported arrived rotten.
Every time they have coup in Niger or some of the neighboring countries, they didn't close the border for the onions and watermelon and tomatoes. But now they have closed the border. Our onions spoiled totally. We make heavy loss.
The 58-year-old is among many others to have suffered from such losses. About 40 trucks for 19 days. The trucks were locked up at the Benin border. Affected traders are only counting their losses.
Bouncing back is in the hands of God, you know. We are just here. I have just lost that money. We have lost it. Most people, you know, I cannot go and hold anyone that he should pay me my losses. And what I'm praying and then praying is that all this should be resolved.
Papa Kona and do 30 bus.
Mine was 320 bags, but managed to salvage 30 bags. The remaining bags have rotten. This coup has indeed affected our business.
Some traders who attempted to use the Burkina Faso route to Ghana also suffered from terrorist attacks. Several trucks loaded with onions were burnt by the insurgents.
They burnt our cars and the goods on the Burkina Faso road. We just chanced on them and they stopped us. They burnt the cars without killing anyone.
This has led to an increase in the price of the vegetable.
A week, trucks bet my baby 150.
Before the closure of the border, at least 150 trucks came from Niger every week. But now, less than 30 arrived in a week.
A bag of onion, which used to sell for 800 cedis, now goes for between 1,500 and 1,600 cedis. The price, according to the traders, is likely to go up if the challenge that comes with transporting the produce from Niger to Ghana persists.
Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3 News, Kumasi.
On to some more stories now. Residents in the Saboba district of the Northern region have staged a protest over the deplorable nature of the 30-kilometer Yendi-Pauba-Saboba road. Now, they have given the government 30 days to fix the road.
The 30-kilometer Yendi-Pauba-Saboba road becomes inaccessible every year during the raining season as portions of the road are mostly washed away. Residents and commuters are always confronted with the miserable condition of the road. They have been compelled to resort to the use of canoes to cross some portions of the road. Health, agriculture, and education are mostly affected. The residents staged a demonstration to vent their anger over what they described as neglect of their major challenge by the government. Convener of the protest, Jelula Jagre Morris, said the current condition of the road is hindering the development of the area.
We implore your prompt intervention to allocate the necessary resources and prioritize the replacement of the Pauba and Wapuli bridges and the maintenance of the Saboba roads.
They want the government to fix the road, especially the Pauba bridge.
It is a challenge and we need the government to come our aid. All the businessmen and women who are trading within this area, normally things happen this way. The produce that we have in the warehouses, the produce that we have in the rooms, all get spoiled.
Some of the protesters also shared their frustrations.
After 1 month, if we don't see that there is any conscious effort towards maintaining or working on our roads, then we know that government doesn't regard us as Ghanaians. Then we will have to look at the next steps forward.
Our women, especially when they are on labor, we don't know what to do. When they are pregnant, maternity side, we don't know what to do. Students are suffering when they are to write their BEC exams. They don't know what to do. We are lucky that this year they shifted it back. Like by this time, the children will have crossed the river and go to write their BEC exams. So last year, they crossed that way to write their BEC exams. So we don't know why we are not part of Ghana or what. Saboba is not part of Ghana or what, and those things is happening.
The protesters later presented a petition to the Saboba District Assembly. The Yendi-Pauba-Saboba road connects the Saboba district to other parts of the northern and northeast regions.
Now, 3 out of 7 assailants have been said to attempted to attack the NDC constituency chairman for Binduri at his residence in Bazua have been killed. Now, the residents are said to have confronted the attackers, leading to the death of 3.
The attackers are said to have surrounded the house and fired indiscriminately, prompting community members to come to the chairman's aid. One of the gunmen was killed on the spot, while the others fled and later succumbed to their wounds in different locations. The deceased were identified as Nashiru Razak, 32, Abdul Bashid, 23, and Muniru Bashiru, 22, hailing from Sagabo, Patrme, and Pusum in the Boku municipality. The Upper East Regional Police Commander DCOP Daku Ofe Lomote and his team visited the crime scene in Bazwa to gather information about the attack and urged residents to remain vigilant and support each other.
He has done well, and by his action, he has saved the whole family. So we also encourage you, all of you, if you have some information that you want to share with us. If you see something and you don't say something, what will we do? We will not hear, and will not act. So it goes together. You see something, say something, and we will do what? Do something. All the military, police, prisons, immigration, NIB, all of us will do something. Please, we appeal to all of you, and we want all of you to go to sleep without fear that somebody is hiding somewhere.
DCOP Lomote encouraged residents to use the police hotlines for assistance and to report any suspicious activities.
Because food security is a shared responsibility. Much of the work that we do is fueled by information. If you give us information, we act on it, and then the larger society will get the benefit.
Some residents who spoke off camera expressed concerns and shock at the targeting of prominent individuals in the area and called for increased security surveillance in Bazwa. Meanwhile, security has been heightened in the town as investigations continue. On August 21, 2023, unidentified gunmen on motorbikes opened fire on a group of people at Bazwa, killing 2 in the process.
Now, 2 babies have been abandoned at the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital by unknown parents. Health workers at the facility say the babies will soon be handed over to the Social Welfare Department.
Health workers at the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital say the babies were brought to the facility 2 months ago by different individuals. The nurses then decided to give them names. One of the babies is named Ransford Saki. His mother abandoned him at the facility after realizing that the baby has deformities from birth. The baby has only 1 arm and a limb. The mother, after delivery, told the health workers present that she was stepping out to buy an item but failed to return to the facility. She also provided her wrong contact to the facility. Nurses say the baby's disability was as a result of the mother's failed attempted abortion. The second baby, named Kelvin Walters, also brought to the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital by a team of police officers who found him abandoned at a beach in Accra, malnourished with measles. The health workers at the babies ward of the Child Health Department are awaiting to release the babies to the Social Welfare Department. Meanwhile, authorities at the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital are seeking the families of 2 adult patients receiving treatment at its orthopedic wards. Patients Agbalu and Abiola Adeniyi were both knocked down by vehicles at separate locations in Accra. Patients has been on admission for more than 17 months, while Abiola has spent 5 months at the ward. The hospital has treated and absolved their bills but cannot discharge them because they claim they have no relatives or a place of abode in Accra. Mustafa Salifo is Public Relations Officer of the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital.
It is a worrying situation for the hospital because when they occupy the bed, then it means we have to report at the emergency that all beds are occupied. But here is the case, these are people who are treated and are well and can go home. And yet they occupy these beds, which tend to affect the admission of critical sick patients in the hospital. So we want to use this medium to appeal to their relations so that we can get these patients out of the hospital.
Rather sad events there. But on the foreign front, Russian officials say Wagner chief Prigozhin has been confirmed dead after genetic analysis of bodies found in Wednesday's plane crash. Now, the investigative committee, SK, said the identities of all the 10 victims have been established and corresponded to those on the flight's passenger list. Prigozhin's private jet came down northwest of Moscow on 25th August, killing all those on board. The Kremlin has denied speculation it was to blame for the crash. The investigative committee added it was continuing a criminal investigation. And that's all for the 6 a.m. news here on TV3. My name is Judith Awoche Tando, but of course, Roland Nashoko as well as Bella Mundi are here with me in the studio with the rest of New Day. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm great, and you?
Not bad. I like your smile this morning.
Oh, yeah. I miss you.
Something exciting happening in your life that you want to share? Nothing really,
something small.
Hey, go you. I don't know what it is, but I'm excited anyway. You had a good weekend?
Yeah, I did.
I'm sure you were working as well.
Oh, yeah. I was here yesterday. I did the midday news as well.